Can. Three-letter word, very small, but so many uses. Hello everyone, my name is Ehab and this is English with Ehab, where we talk about English, we practice it, and hopefully by the end of the lesson we learn something about it. Today's video, the topic is going to be modals. This will be a first video of a series of videos that I want to do specifically on modals. And the reason I'm going to focus in and create a new playlist just for modals is because modals can be a little tricky. Modal is basically a helping verb. It is a verb that we use in addition to the main verb of a sentence when we write a sentence or when we speak and we say something. So the reason I'm doing this is, again, they are tricky. A lot of times modals will have so many different meanings depending on how it's used in a sentence. So what I'd like to do in this series is really just do one modal at a time. Possibly I might do two modals for one video, but I do want to hone in, show you plenty of examples, and then when we get to the conclusion, basically identify how the modal is used and what is the meaning of the modal as it's used in the sentence or the example of the sentence which I provide. And then maybe later I might do a complete review for everything. So again, the modal today that we're going to focus on is can. As I said in the introduction, it's only a three-letter word. It's very small, but big usage. a lot of ways that we can use this particular modal. So anyways, let's get to the board and see how we can use this wonderful verb. Okay, on the board right behind me are the 4 ways that we use the modal can. I'm going to go one by one. I have examples for each one. So let's go ahead and try it out. Okay, the first way that we use can is when you are talking about ability, something that you know how to do. For example, I can speak Arabic. That means I have the ability to speak this language. I can play football. I can play the piano. It's just my ability. Couple things to point out. When we use a modal, if you guys notice, the verb doesn't change. That's the rule in English. And it doesn't matter what the subject is. So, he, they, we can play basketball. Again, the verb does not change. Now, if there were no modal and you are in the present tense, then you're going to have to change that verb. But just keep that in mind. When we use these modals or auxiliary verbs or helping verbs, as I like to call them, it does not matter what the subject is. Now, one thing that you can use, and only for ability, instead of saying can, if you would like, you can say be able to. Be able to is what we call a modal-like expression, and it lets somebody know that you have the skill to do something. So, I am able to play the piano. It is the same thing as saying I can play the piano. No difference. Meaning is exactly the same. Again, just giving you more options. Now, the one difference is this one has the verb be. And you have to be careful. You have to make sure that it is adjusted for the subject. If I say I, should be am. If I say she, then I need to say is able to fly an airplane. If I say they, I need to say they are able to use the program. So just keep that in mind. Second reason for the modal can, or the way that we use it, is when you are telling me something is a possibility. And when I say possibility, it means about a 50% guess. For example, let's say two people are talking and A says, "Where's Tom?" B says, "I'm not sure. He can be at work." That means possibility, maybe. There's a 50% chance. If somebody's absent in my class, okay, where's this student? Oh, he or she can be sick. So it is a possibility. Now, keep in mind, for these right here, possibility, request, and permission, there are other modals that we can use. And as we go through in this series, I'm going to showcase that and show you what other modals that we can use instead of this. All right? Request is a third reason why we use this modal. Request is when you ask somebody to do something for you. Keep in mind, when you ask somebody to do something for you and you use can, it is informal. What does that mean? It means that we use this when we are talking amongst people that we know. Family members, friends, possibly co-workers or classmates if you guys are close. Can you help me? You are asking the person to do something for you. Can you drop me off at school? Again, that is a request. Permission is the last reason. Permission is different. Permission is when you ask something or somebody if it is okay if you can do something. It's a little bit different from request. Okay? Usually we use permission with people who are in authority. Maybe you are using this if you are talking to your boss, possibly a teacher, definitely your parents. Okay? Let's say that I'm a student and I tell the teacher, or I ask the teacher, can I leave early? I'm asking for permission. I'm asking to see if it is okay. Can we use your bicycle? Let's say that I'm talking to a friend and we want to use the bicycle. Again, that is permission. You are asking if that is okay with the other person and possibly with other people. All right, for can, these are the reasons that we use this particular modal. In the conclusion, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some sentences on the board, and what I want to see if you guys can do at home is see if you can identify. Is it ability? Is it possibility? Is it request? Or is it permission? Okay, let's go ahead and get to the conclusion. Okay, on the board right behind me are 4 sentences. Again, we're going to go through them one by one, and we're going to try to identify whether we are using it as possibility, ability, permission, or request. Now, first thing I would like to do is I'm simply just going to say the sentence, and you guys at home can repeat after me, okay? All right, number 1, Steve isn't answering his phone. He can be sleeping. Steve isn't answering his phone. He can be sleeping. Number 2, Lisa can type 70 words per minute. Lisa can type 70 words per minute. Number 3, my computer isn't working. Can I use yours? My computer isn't working. Can I use yours? Number 4, my flight is tomorrow night. Can you give me a ride to the airport? My flight is tomorrow night. Can you give me a ride to the airport? A couple things that I want to point out. If you guys notice, anytime that we use can, because they all use can, it does not matter what the subject is. If you guys notice, the verb never changes because that's the rule when we have modals. And it's not only for can, it's going to be all of the modals that we go through in this particular series. Okay, those are the choices: possibility, ability, permission, and request. Let's go one by one and let's see if we can identify. Number 1, Steve isn't answering his phone. He can be sleeping. Is that possibility? Is it ability, permission, or request? If you said possibility, you're right. If I call somebody on the phone and they don't answer, I have no idea what's going on. So This is maybe. He can be sleeping. It's a guess. It's about 50%. Number 2, Lisa can type 70 words per minute. This one, ability. Remember, when we say ability, we are talking about a skill, something that you know how to do. Now, only for ability, again, we can use a modal-like expression. Lisa, I could say, is able to type 70 words per minute. Only with ability, we have that other option. Number 3, my computer isn't working. Can I use yours? This one should be permission. Remember, permission, you are asking someone if it is okay for you to do something. The other person doesn't need to do anything. That's different than request. Request is when you ask somebody to do something for you. For example, my flight is tomorrow night. Can you give me a ride to the airport? The other person has to drive you there. So it's a little bit different than permission. The reason I point that out is because a lot of times when I teach this lesson, there is some confusion between permission and request. I hope you guys learned something today. Again, be on the lookout for future episodes with modals, because I do plan to do a pretty extensive series on these helping verbs. Please like and subscribe if you can. Again, they help out tremendously. And again, leave a comment down below. Let me know of a special video that you would like to see, and I'll make that happen in the near future. Okay, until the next time, keep on speaking English. Bye-bye.